Well, today across the U.S., members of the Electoral College will cast their votes in the presidential election. You're looking at the meeting in New Hampshire. These state-by-state votes will make it official that Joe Biden will be the President of the United States by January the 20th. The count in the battleground states of Pennsylvania begins at noon. And that is where we find freelance journalist Will Denzelo, who is standing by outside the state legislature in Harrisburg. Will, thanks for joining us. Walk us through what we expect to happen there today.
Well, John, as you so rightly mentioned, in just under 2 hours' time, we expect 20 people to cast their votes. We're expecting them to vote for Joe Biden. Of course, Pennsylvania is one of 17 states that aren't mandated to necessarily vote in the way that the population of that state did, in fact, vote. But of course, it's important to remember that in the United States, during the Electoral College, it is the candidate that won that individual state that will have its electors to cast their ballots. So expect it to be a passing group of Biden-Harris supporters here in Pennsylvania. I was speaking to one of those electors just a few hours ago. She said that she was incredibly proud to be voting for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Of course, there are safety concerns going along with a process that in a normal presidential year is really seen as just a rubber stamping process. But of course, as we know, this is no usual election cycle. Of course, in Michigan, they've closed the state legislature there after receiving what they describe as credible security threats. Now, speaking to one of those electoral voters this morning here in Harrisburg, they say that them themselves haven't received any threats. However, they are following strict security procedures to make sure people don't know the exact location of where this vote will be taking place. They also hope that the rain and snow you can see here behind me will keep protesters away.
So what have you been hearing from the president while all of this has been going on? Well,
John, the message from President Trump over the weekend is that this is not the end of the road as far as his bid to regain another 4 years in the White House is concerned. Of course, the president and his supporters received a crushing blow from the Supreme Court on Friday when they struck down a huge lawsuit from Texas that had the backing of over a dozen states and over 100 Republican lawmakers as well. So that was seen as a blow, but the president says that he will continue his fight. He is continuing with his claims that the election is rigged and there was mass fraud. Of course, after this electoral college vote, that vote will now be counted in Congress, where members of where lawmakers will have the opportunity to voice their concerns. But if those concerns are indeed raised on January 6th, when Congress will vote, it will then go, if that does happen, this is purely hypothetical at this stage, although a few Republicans have expressed that they will go through those procedures. If that happens, it will then go to a simple up or down vote. Some Republicans have said, of course, that they do support that Joe Biden is the president-elect. And of course, considering the fact that this vote will need to take place both in the House and the Senate, the House, of course, is controlled by Democrats. So it is seen as an incredibly narrow shot for President Trump and his supporters to seek another 4 years in the White House. John?
all right, we'll be watching. Thanks for this, Will. Freelance journalist Will Denzelo in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.